So, in this segment, we're going to be talking about why framing, when it comes to abuse and molestation, is really important, and why the media have done a poor job in certain cases. This is one where, if you have children in the room, or if you're listening on a speaker, I would advise you switch to earphones, or just watch this video another time, because this is a video that's got some grim details, to put it lightly. So the framing in this headline is pretty abysmal. It goes, "Dad who attacked woman walking home at night avoids jail as he would lose his job." So you can see here, the person who has committed the act is framed as dad and not man or predator, because it's more sympathetic. Attacked. That's not what, that's just, he did a lot more than just attack a woman walking home. Avoids jail as he would lose his job, to garner more sympathy. Well, that was the reason, to be fair, why one of the reasons why he wasn't sent to jail for what he did. Like I said, I would switch to earphones right now, because, he sexually assaulted someone. That's what happened. He was, the situation could have got way, way worse for this woman had she not used the SOS function on her mobile phone. And this guy, Javid Mia, he ran away because of it. And, credit to her for, thinking that quickly. But she should never have been in that sort of situation. So, the story goes, a dad of one, not a man or a predator, who forced himself on a young woman as she walked home alone late at night, walked free after complaining he would lose his job if he went to jail. So takeaway worker Javid Mia ambushed the terrified victim in the street before pulling her to the floor and molesting her. Mia only fled when the unnamed woman managed to use the SOS function on her phone. So you can tell her a really horrible situation for this woman. Saying that, "I do not know if he knows my route to work. I'm scared to walk anywhere. I will have to rely on my friends or family to drive me to work out of fear." Mia from Shaw near Oldham ran away into an alley. This woman being the victim of the crime here, absolutely horrendous. Is absolutely terrified by this, and it's not a surprise given what happened. She was, molested, and she was almost raped by this man Javid Mia. At Tameside Magistrates Court, he faced jail after admitting to sexual assault, but was sent on a sex offender rehabilitation program after pleading he was a sole earner in his family. His lawyer said the attack was quite opportunistic, and his lawyer also said that, he has a low chance of reoffending, which is one of the worst, stupidest arguments I've heard. But it's his defense lawyer. His lawyer is going to say anything to protect this guy, because that's how the law works in this country, that you have, you're allowed to have representation despite how much of a horrible human being you are. So prosecutor Peter Conroy said she noticed there was a male walking behind her. He bumped into her right shoulder. He bumped into her right shoulder hurt, and she lost her breath because of fear that she did not know what the defendant was going to do. The defendant asked if she knew what time it was, and she replied. He continued to follow her for around another 1 minute, and then the defendant went up to her and groped her bum cheek. She was shocked and frightened. She told him it was not right for him to do it. He then he had his arms around her chest, and the next thing she knew, she was on the floor with him. She was on the floor on top of him. He lifted his right hand towards her crotch, and she started to move her hand up towards her chest. So, he was, very much, trying to sexually assault her. She said, "My mind froze. I was in total shock." She managed to get her mobile phone out, etc. He was, in his argument of, he's the only one employed in the family, blah, blah, blah. He was only ordered to pay £213 in costs and sign the sex offender registry for 7 years. The sentencing JP David Cornley said, "This was a cowardly and sustained attack on a young woman late at night." And that is where the article ends. that's a bit of a weird place to end the article. I thought there was a bit more to it. But, you see the framing in this article is one of the main problems. I suppose the sentence is the main issue, that he was given a 6-month sentence that's suspended for 2 years. That's a major problem. Also, the framing of this headline of "Dad who attacked woman walking home at night avoids jail as he would lose his job" is very sympathetic towards the man who, is the predator in this case. And, I don't understand why the Mirror have used this framing, and, it further perpetuates the problems that we have in society, that this person here, in this case, an article written by two dudes who have clearly failed to actually frame this properly. They framed this in a sympathetic way when it should have been in a predator who attacked a woman avoids jail as he would lose his job. That's his argument. This man is a predator. He preyed on a woman at night, when she was alone. That's what a predator does. We go to, another article, which is about, a teenage girl headbutts man after being grabbed on the path. This one might seem like a reach here, but this headline, again, is a bit dodgy, isn't it? A teenage girl headbutts man after being grabbed on the path, when it should be teenager forced to defend herself after being grabbed on the path, or something different. This headline isn't it, Chief. This just isn't it. And the framing here, again, I would not be surprised if this was written by another dude. And the problem here isn't that specifically it was written by men, but it's written by men who kind of don't understand the situation clearly, that, how dangerous this stuff is. And this is not how you frame such an article. Even some of the responses from this, is, it's a bit of a, you might argue I'm reaching here, but, as this person points out, it could easily say teenage girl defends herself from, a man or predator who assaults her. It should read predator attacks teenager. I respect the kid for, this teenager for headbutting this man and defending herself, but she should never have been in a situation to have to do so. Also, the headline, it's just appalling. Or even, man grabs teenager would do it. The framing is a problem within, these two articles here. And obviously these two articles aren't just the only ones that are going to have, bad framing. There'll be other ones out there. These are ones that are just recent and caught my eye. Also, the fact that, this incident actually happened in 2018, right? And she's only just gotten justice, quote unquote justice for this now. It's taken about 2 and a bit years for anything to have actually been done about this case. And the fact that all he got was a suspended sentence. She had to wait that long just for a suspended sentence. And, for him to sign on to the sex offenders register is a joke, to be honest. And I want to talk about these topics more. I know it's difficult for me to do so, and I can't offer solutions, but I can offer criticisms at the bare minimum of the system and of the media. The framing here is abysmal, but yeah, the framing and the consequences of this article are abysmal. And what deterrence is there for this man to not do this again? Like, he's been given a suspended sentence. He could easily do this again. Or what's he gonna get? 6 months in jail, a year in jail? That's not really consequence, is it? For given what he did and what he planned to do. Anyways, I'm going to leave it there. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Like, comment, share, subscribe, and hopefully I'll see you in the next one.